Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we are tackling something absolutely fascinating. We're diving into Thomas Sowell's landmark book, Basic Economics, to completely demystify how the world actually works. You know, the economy can feel like this massive, overwhelming machine. But honestly, at its core, it's driven by 6 really simple laws. These laws literally run the world, yet most of us were never taught them. Let's fix that.
Okay, let's dive right into this. There's a massive gap between policies that sound fundamentally good and the objective mathematical reality that proves them wrong. Things like tax the rich, cap rent to fix housing, use tariffs to protect jobs. I mean, they sound like total common sense, right? But as Sowell argues, these policies often backfire completely. It's exactly like trying to put out a grease fire in your kitchen with a giant bucket of water. Your intention is undeniably good, but the physics of the situation makes the whole thing explode.
Law 1. People respond to rewards, not intentions. To see this in action, let's look at a real-world example from 2008. The state of Maryland needed money, so politicians came up with a plan to raise taxes on 8,000 resident millionaires to help fund the state. The intention was super simple, right? Tax the rich to fund the state's budget.
$106 million. That's the exact amount of extra tax revenue Maryland expected to collect every single year from this plan. I mean, it sounded like brilliant, straightforward math. But here is the punchline. The actual revenue they collected the following year was actually less than before the tax hike. Not more, less.
So why on earth did that happen? Well, the millionaires left. They literally just packed up their businesses, their lives, and moved to lower tax states. Think about it like setting up a really expensive toll booth at the end of your own driveway. You might totally intend to make some cash from your family coming and going, but rationally, they're just going to start parking their cars on the street. Maryland accidentally rewarded millionaires for leaving, so rationally and predictably, they left.
The intention was to collect more money, but the mathematical result was collecting less. The big lesson here? We've got to always ask what a policy actually rewards people to do, not what it intends to do. People just follow the carrot, plain and simple.
Moving right along to Law 2, every choice has a hidden cost, or the opportunity cost. This applies to literally every single decision made in the world, from global trade all the way down to your living room couch. Imagine you're a kid again, and you've got a $10 weekly allowance. You're on a strict budget. You can choose to buy the burger, the coffee, or a movie ticket. If you choose the burger, the true cost of that meal isn't just $10. The true cost is that you lose the coffee and the movie forever. Every single choice means giving up something else.
Compared to what? These are absolutely the 2 most powerful words in economics. Whenever a new policy is announced on the news or a politician makes some grand promise, this is the vital, crucial question you have to ask yourself. Take free university, for example. I mean, it sounds fantastic, but compared to what? Objectively speaking, every dollar spent on one thing is a dollar taken from somewhere else. The hidden opportunity cost of that free tuition is canceled hospital funding, delayed road repairs, or lost tax relief for families. It's exactly like your household budget. If you spend the family vacation fund on a brand new TV, the TV isn't free. You paid for it with the family vacation.
Now for Law 3, prices coordinate everything, without anyone in charge. Think about kids trading Halloween candy. Nobody sets the exchange rate, right? The kids just naturally figure out how many lollipops equal 1 chocolate bar based on how badly everyone wants chocolate. The global market works the exact same way. Take a massive city like London. It manages to feed 10 million people 3 meals a day. But there's no government planner, no minister of sandwiches organizing this huge logistical puzzle. The price system processes billions of signals automatically. If fish from one place gets way too expensive, the price tells buyers to switch to something else instantly, which means shelves are magically full every single morning. Government planners, on the other hand, they're just humans trying to make thousands of impossible decisions all at once. When the USSR tried replacing prices with human planners, the mathematical impossibility of that task resulted in breadlines, severe shortages, and famine. Honestly, prices are the world's greatest information network.
Which brings us to Law 4, control prices and the product vanishes. The rent-controlled death spiral. This is arguably the most dangerous trap of all, often seen in the form of rent control, a policy that everyone cheers for, but one that mathematically destroys housing over time.
Here's how the chronological death spiral of an apartment building works under rent control. First, the government caps the rent. Second, the landlord realizes that repairing the roof now costs more than the rental income brings in. Imagine being forced to mow a neighbor's lawn for $1, but the gas for the mower costs $2. You just stop mowing, right? That's exactly what happens in step 3. The building is abandoned by the landlord. Finally, in step 4, developers just stop building entirely. A capped price freezes the supply, but the population keeps growing, and boom, you've got a massive housing shortage.
We saw this exact same mathematical mechanism happen with food in Zimbabwe back in the 2000s. The government capped food prices. Within hours, the store shelves emptied. Out in the country, the farms actually stayed full, but farmers naturally refused to sell at a massive loss. So the food literally rotted while people in the cities starved. And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate reality of price controls. If a price is forced too low, you get a shortage nobody can find. If it's forced too high, you get a surplus nobody buys. Both extremes completely destroy the market, always creating the exact opposite of the intended promise. Only the natural price keeps the shelf stocked. All right, let's look at Law 5. Profit and loss are signals. Don't silence them. Understanding this one completely changes how you'll perceive business profits and bankruptcies the next time you're reading the news.
See, profit is simply the economy saying, keep going, make more. It just means people voluntarily chose your product. A loss, on the flip side, is the economy saying, stop, redirect. It's exactly like touching a hot stove versus eating a really sweet apple. The pain of a burn is your body's built-in signal to pull your hand away quickly. Well, a business loss is the economy signaling us to stop wasting precious resources, things like steel, electricity, and human labor, on things people don't actually want.
And this is exactly why bailouts are so destructive. Bailing out a failing company is literally forcing resources to stay where the economy has already yelled, stop. It's like putting a piece of black tape over your car's check engine light instead of, actually fixing the engine. It traps tax money and resources where they simply don't belong, completely overriding the natural navigation system of human progress.
Finally, we reach Law 6. Trade makes everyone richer. The myth of trade wars. Here we're going to dismantle that really popular myth that trade is some kind of battle where one side wins and the other side has to lose.
Let's look at a super simple household math problem. Option 1. A doctor who earns $200 an hour decides to fix her own plumbing. It takes her 10 hours. She loses $2,000 of working time, and honestly, probably ends up with bad plumbing. She's poor. Option 2. The doctor pays a professional plumber $300. The doctor keeps working, netting a $1,700 gain. The plumber makes money. Both sides win. Impartially speaking, specialization and voluntary trade always leave both parties richer.
Now, when we scale this up to whole countries, we see the real danger of tariffs. Imagine two siblings drawing a line down the middle of their shared bedroom and charging each other a toll just to trade toys. I mean, they both just end up with fewer toys to play with, right? Tariffs are exactly like that. They are literal walls against trade. While they might sound like they're protecting a country, mathematically they just force citizens to buy more expensive local goods. The objective result is that consumers on both sides of the wall pay more, making absolutely everyone poorer overall.
So, let's do a quick recap of these 6 laws that run the world. 1. People respond to rewards, not intentions. 2. Every choice has a hidden opportunity cost. 3. Prices are an automatic information system. 4. Price controls destroy supply. 5. Profit and loss are vital signals. And 6. Trade enriches both sides. Armed with this level of economic literacy based on Sowell's insights, you can now see right through everyday political headlines and grand promises.
I'll leave you with this final thought. Which of these 6 economic laws surprised you the most today? Think about the one that gave you that biggest aha moment. The one that completely flipped how you view your daily household budget or the evening news. Keep asking, compared to what, and I'll see you in the next explainer.